All right, guys, another car recording because it's baseball season still, which is great. I'm happy about. So first off, to go over the articles. So both the surgery articles, if you notice, I'm trying to think if anybody did surgery one, and I'm not for sure. But basically, with the low back surgeries, is they found that the surgery helps in the short term, but in the long term, there's no difference. And in the long term, we're talking a year out or so, or 2 years out, there's no difference in surgery versus conservative treatment for sciatica or for um, spinal stenosis. There we go. And ironically, is when one of the studies was talking about, it talked about a third of the people in the surgery group ended up having conservative treatment, and about a third of the people in the conservative treatment ended up having surgery. So just understand. So unfortunately with low back pain, like I feel like we go to surgery very quick, but in the long run, like the conservative treatment is just as effective. The surgery just helps short term. The core stability versus general exercises. So again, it kind of had the same results, and that core stabilization helped decrease pain sooner, but general exercise helped in the long run. But I think that's true for a lot of joints. Like I think I mentioned on Tom's discussion board was that, if people aren't exercising and start exercising, like they have good results. They have decreased joint pain. Even, if it's not necessarily a complaint, they notice that they feel better. So I think just take that in mind. I think core stabilization, though, personally, just does need to be added into the exercises. Then for the SI joint one, with the glute max being important, it's a type of force closure for the SI joint. I completely agree. I'm on board with that 100%. What I did find that was awesome was the fact that it was just 10 sessions, 30-minute sessions, which is not very long at all for sessions. The exercises weren't crazy hard by any means. I do need to find you the positive, the likelihood ratios for the test cluster that they did, and I need to find the ones for the back clusters too. I will try and get those to you guys. But when you put those 4 tests together, you guys probably know this, so I guess you would have covered that in something else. It increases the chances of it being SI joint related. One thing I did notice though, so when you look at the VAS scores on the table there, the VAS scores were 9 and 8 for the person who ran 3 times a week. You don't run with 9 out of 10 pain 3 times a week. So just take that note, make sure you check those things out. Some of the things in the Oswestry of 82, and 76, it's a little hard to believe when you're still running 3 times a week and the other one was playing recreational soccer. So just take note of that. I have a hard time swallowing that one if you're still able to run 3 times a week and your Oswestry was an 82. That's high. So 100% would be you're completely disabled. You can't do anything. So just take note of that. But they did have good success and they found the decrease in pain. So guys, when it comes to low back and SI joint, what I use in my practice a lot is I do soft tissue to loosen everything up. Then I mobilize if we have restrictions. I work on range of motion, and I like to do range of motion the angry cat stretch. Even in quadruped, I'll have them turn where they have to look at their feet because that gets some good lateral motion in the back without being super weight bearing. And then I do a crazy amount of core stabilization. I do the ball. I add bands to the ball. We lay them down on the foam roller. I told you guys about that one. We do pull downs and tandem stance. So we have this bar that we put onto TheraBands. We tie the TheraBands to them, and then they just have to maintain that core and the good posture while they're pulling that down. You can do that whether on the ball. You can do that on single leg. You can put in single leg on a Bosu ball. Just lots of options there. Anytime you put them on a Bosu ball, we automatically increase the core engagement. I like to do RDLs. I like to do even your deadlifts to teach them the proper technique for the deadlifts. I do a lot of hip workouts, resisted side steppings, all those things. We do a lot of Palloff presses. We do it overhead. You can have them, they attach the TheraBand behind them, and they have to press their arms. Sorry, I can't go all the way up overhead, and maintain that core because as they press up, it's going to want to pull them backwards, so they have to keep those ribs down. all those things. Anything you can get functional with it. You know, have them pass a volleyball, but make sure they're maintaining that good form. I feel like for core and SI, like the exercises are even more diverse, because you can do upper extremity steps but on a Bosu ball, you can do lower extremity stuff, just maintain that alignment. So why core and back and SI sometimes seems like a scary beast, like just break it down. What's wrong? Do we have tight musculature? Fix it. Do we have decreased mobilization? Fix it. Do we have decreased range? How are you going to fix it? Do we have a tight iliopsoas that we need to work out, that we need to stretch? Do we have tight hip flexors? Do we have tight hamstrings? Do we have tight quads? Because all those play a role in the pelvis and the lower back. So don't overthink it, like usual. Just break it down. What's at fault? What do we need to strengthen? What do we need to stretch? What do we need to get just working together to better? I get to see you guys this Thursday. I'm excited to meet you in person. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. We cover upper extremity. Yeah, we're upper extremity next week, and then we are lower the following week. So 2 more weeks, guys. Hang in there. I think we're going to do a little bit something different for the discussion board this week, so make sure you look at that good before you get started on that. But 2 more weeks, hang in there, and I'm excited to see you guys this week. Hope you have a great weekend. Thanks.